and Meliora. Yeah.
Okay, Meliora is a short film play at the Female Feedback Film Festival. Kristin Hildebrand, who is the director, is with us. This is a great film. It really is. It's got a lot of essence and got a lot of nuance to it. This was your thesis project at the Baltic Film School, correct?
Thank you. Yes, this was my thesis project, the capstone for my BA.
And how was the Baltic Film School? How was it the experience?
I mean, it's a great school. It's really about learning by doing. So they kind of just threw us in the deep end and taught theory along the way, but it was really about just working with others in your course and pitchings and, really trying to make it as close to the real film industry as possible.
Gotcha.
And we had great facilities.
How many films did you make at the school?
Well, I participated in many projects, but I directed three. So two documentaries and then Meliora.
Oh wow. So this Meliora has got it's a huge production design, lots of costumes, lots of like art direction. And tell me like this seemed like a pretty very ambitious project when you pitched it. Was the faculty worried about like you pulling it off?
Yeah, that was the main concern of
Yeah,
everyone
I
involved
assume, yeah.
because I really wanted this sort of Parisian aesthetic, which you don't find in Estonia. We have a lot of Soviet architecture and sort of everything's gray and a bit, you know, but I wanted this dreamy look to the film and uh, like a big help for me was the fact that I had a great producer from within my course, Lee Slogan, and she really like got the locations, got some. We did a crowdfunding thing in Estonia, so we got extra production money from that, and yeah, the school provided us with a budget as well, but it wouldn't have been possible with just the school's budget.
Yeah, well, because the film was about like this high class like girl, like she has a rich husband, she's rich herself by proxy. So you and then of course it's just all an illusion, and then there's the monster. But basically, but you in order to establish the film, you have to show that they are rich and they're in this elegant lifestyle, which costs money to order to establish
Yeah.
richness and decadence. You have to show that on screen, so that costs money, right? So the budget must have been like even the beginning scene with the at the art gallery. That seems very ambitious. Lots of extras, like the costumes for everybody. That must have been hard to pull off.
That was a lot of hustling, yeah,
Yeah.
getting people to help for free. And, you know, some of the locations we got completely for free because people do like to help out film students
Mm-hmm.
and help us learn, which is really kind of them. The extras were people we ourselves knew. The costumes, many of them were like my mom's clothes, some of them were H&M clothes, but sort of a style that fits,
Yeah.
and looks richer than it is. So just a lot of planning went into it and lots of costume tests and location tests and yeah, a lot of
Did you have a
preparation.
costume designer like who's just
We
that's they're
did.
solely doing costumes?
Yeah, we had a costume designer who's an actual professional in the Estonian film industry,
Okay.
and we did pay her as well, though probably not as much as we should have. But she was a great woman, yeah, doing
Yeah.
Betsalo.
You could see it on
Sure.
screen because I'm watching your film for the first time and I'm enjoying it, and then the second time watching it, I'm breaking it down like how you did it, right? So, and it's really nice. Like even like her like just your main characters, it's showing that the illusion of what you want to establish in the first act of the film, right?
Thank you.
Where did
Yes.
you come up with this idea of like this monster and this person like trying to, I guess it's like self identity, right? Like where like she's kind of lost
Yeah.
in her own little mind.
Well, the main I guess, thing that propelled this idea was I wanted to write a passive character, someone who isn't really able to express themselves and who is repressed. But that is really difficult to pull off in a film because you need someone to, bring some action
Mm-hmm.
and some sort of inciting incident. But so the idea itself came sort of randomly. I was just in bed and then suddenly I was like, what if a painting came to life and started just destroying things and doing the things that the protagonist can't do? So
Yeah.
that's really what started, and then everything else was built upon that.
Is there any like past experiences? Like it seems like this seems like a it was a like a like was a person, not to get too into your life, but it seems like this is a very personal film for you.
It is and it isn't. I mean, I do identify with Emma a lot and this sort of not being secure in yourself and feeling you're not able to maybe express yourself the way you want to and
Mhm.
to make the art that you want to, feeling like you're not good enough as an artist. Uh, so that part is very much similar between Emma and me, but the abusive relationship with Thomas, I mean, he is sort of a combination of different men that I've known in my life,
Mhm.
and
Gotcha.
I do know people that are pretty similar, yeah,
Yeah.
and they're not very nice to interact with.
And so talk to me about like even this the scene in the like the alleyway scene's fantastic. I'm assuming you just that's sort of where you live.
Uh, that is shot in the Tallinn Old Town.
Okay.
I think to me that's the most beautiful part of Tallinn, the Old Town. It's a great tourist attraction as well, and I think it has a beautiful aesthetic to it.
So so then you go into the club, which is another scene with all kinds of extras,
Mhm.
musicians. Like you just really want to make it, you wanted to make it difficult for yourself
I
making the
know,
film.
I know. My producer was not happy.
No?
But I think that jazz scene really offers some contrast to Emma's normal life, and I do believe it was necessary to sort of have this vibrant kind of nightlife with, someone expressing themselves so fully in an artistic way as the woman in green, because she needs the inspiration uh, to drive the plot forward. And also, I think
Yeah.
it helps explore Emma's character.
Hmm.
Yeah, the scene, it was shot in an actual jazz club, one of the few that we have. And the musicians, they are a real band, and those
Yeah.
are real songs that they've written. So we actually got really lucky with that scene because we didn't have any rehearsals, really. So we just had the actress come in who played the woman in green, who is an actual painter in real life,
Yeah.
and the band who are an actual band. And we were like, okay, let's try to time this. And also, it was a steady cam shot, which we hadn't done before. So lots of firsts, but
Yeah.
somehow it somehow worked,
Yeah. Well, the
and we
Steadicam
got
shop
it
is needed
done.
because it's like you're establishing that she's moving into this new the world
Mhm.
that I guess one would assume she's more comfortable in, right? So it's a very good directorial choice. So
Oh, thank
you kind
you.
of had to establish that this is we're entering her. It's all about what's in her mind, right? So we're entering this new
Mhm.
world, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's sort of the world that she wished she could belong
Yeah,
in, but she doesn't fully belong in either world, I would say.
yeah, and it
It's
shows that like you said, just because you have money doesn't mean that everything is good, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah, she's still in prison. She's still like in there's like the two scenes with the husband where like the one where they're like having breakfast and then the one where like she's painting at nighttime. he's manipulative.
Mhm.
He's like trying, he's manipulating her, right? So
Yeah.
those are
He
really
tries
nicely
to,
written scenes.
oh, thank you. Yeah, he tries to keep her in a gilded cage, basically.
Yeah, the
And
gilded cage, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
mm,
I guess, is that a term? Is that so that? I guess it's a term, right?
yeah, it is. I learned it myself while writing this film, but yeah, it's actually quite a common thing with trophy wives,
Yeah.
so to speak, that, they are given what seems like the perfect life and this financial freedom,
Mhm.
but it comes at a cost. And often it's like very personal things that are kept from them and
Yeah.
sort of restrictions put on them.
Yeah. But some of them don't mind it. Let's be honest here, right? But for someone like
Oh,
your
yeah.
character is like she's got nuance. She's got thought. She's got independent thought, right? So she needs more from her life than just to be someone's wife, I guess, right?
Exactly. And that's what I really tried to drive home as well, that she's not happy with this life. She
Yeah.
wants something more, but he's not allowing it to happen.
So literally halfway through the film, there's a tone shift, and you kind of change the genre in a sense, seems to be a common thing since I'm throwing this movie Parasite that came out. I'm sure you've seen it, where like
I
they
love it.
changed the tone, right? And
Mhm.
that's what you did with your film. Were you worried about the tone shift, like about like how it becomes this drama, then it kind of shifts into, I don't know, more thriller horror?
Uh, that was, I mean, it was a choice, but it, I feel like it came sort of, it's what the story demanded, so I didn't feel as nervous about it. Uh, it might have come as a surprise to some viewers,
Yeah,
but
100%.
but I did try to have some foreshadowing and some like tension already in the beginning to hint
100%.
that
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
something more to come. Yeah.
But nobody's kind of seeing this like, this change, right? So
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, it's very good. And so tell me about your relationship with your lead actress, because obviously she's in every scene, and
Mhm.
what's her name? Maria.
Maria. Yeah, Maria Baista.
She's
I mean,
fantastic.
she's fantastic. I love her.
Yeah.
And she's such a sweet girl in real life. Very different from Emma, actually. She's very like open and more bubbly, um, more extroverted, but we really worked quite intimately together. We had many rehearsals and conversations about the character and what sort of body language we want and what sort of speech mannerisms would she have and what's going on in her mind, what's driving her.
Mhm.
And we had lots of those conversations, and with every rehearsal I saw that it was getting closer and closer, and finally, I mean, she brought so much life to the film that I wouldn't have been able to even think of myself, like all these little moments between her and Thomas. And the two of them also built a close friendship while we were working on this film and
Mhm.
really like built the characters off of each other and with each other. It was great to see.
So where did you find her? Did she audition?
Well, we contacted her. She's a quite recent graduate of an acting school in Viljandi. So we were looking at different options online of actresses, and uh, I came across her, what's it called, showreel of
Hmm.
her work in previous projects, and she had this great clip of um, she was in the forest and covering herself in mud and eating mud, and it felt so raw, and yet she was so beautiful while doing it.
Yeah.
Eating mud, which is, I don't know, it reminded me of Emma and made me want to speak with her. And luckily, she liked the project and she liked the idea of working with an all-female crew and this more complex female character than maybe usually
100%.
people. Yeah.
I'm assuming she asked, she's like, let's do the feature. Is there a feature version of this film?
Well, that would be a real nightmare in terms of production.
No, well, if you have money, it wouldn't, I guess, right?
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice, but
But do you
yeah, I
have
would
like, have
love
you
to work.
written a feature version of this film?
I haven't. I started writing sort of a novel version of it
Okay.
because I would like to have it just fully set in France and in this different society than what we have here in Estonia because we don't have a lot of this class divide, which is a good thing. But for
Yeah.
this film, I would need sort of the really rich upper class vibe. But
So,
yeah, a feature film would be nice.
but you nailed the ending because it's like, it's so, it's so profound. It's like, yeah. How did you come? Like, you have it in the synopsis, so I'm not giving too much away, but how did you design the monster, quote unquote?
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure. I guess I was trying to think how to visually show something that looks tortured
Mm-hmm.
and also feminine because we are so used to seeing monsters that are very masculine and bulky, or if it's like a female monster, it's somehow really sexualized. And those were the two things that I wanted to avoid at all costs. So I wanted something uh, sort of like a fetus, like
Yeah.
bald and like slimy and uh, looks fragile but scary. And I actually cast my course mate, who's a great, great friend of mine, to play the monster because I knew that the SFX makeup would be like quite difficult, the whole process of figuring it out and putting it on and having the lenses because they cover the pupils. So the eyes are white of the monster. So that actress couldn't see anything really. She was blind.
Yeah.
So I knew I needed someone that I could trust who would like show up 100% because the prosthetics are, they fit one face and that's it. You can't recast at the last moment. So we had a great actual professional makeup artist as well to help with the design. And we did many tests and worked on it together.
So the film's getting into festivals, including ours. How does it feel? Like it's like seems like the North Americans audience is really taken by it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. It makes me feel proud, which is,
Yeah, you should be
nice. I
proud.
haven't really, yeah, thank you. I was never really one to enter in competitions and stuff like that as a kid, so this is a very new experience.
So we
It's
sent the
nice.
audience to you. What did you think about the audience had to say about your film on the feedback video that we sent you?
And it was lovely. Yeah. I mean, first of all, just seeing the faces, uh, and hearing their thoughts like that, it it's kind of insane to think that, something I thought of in my head is now on the screen and people are actually watching it and thinking about it and forming their own opinions and that they have feelings about it, And I mean, it's fantastic. And they had, yeah, I think they really understood it as well, which is always nice.
Well, I want to also point out that your post production, your sound design, music, your editing, it's a really nice job too. Your editing team. You must have been like, I'm assuming that like you never get what you want, everything 100% what you want when you're directing, but you must have been very happy with the production design when you're looking at your rushes. I'm assuming you're like, yeah, I got a film here. I can, this is going to be good.
Yeah, that I was really happy with my team. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at first like on set, I was um convinced that the film would not work at all. And I was texting my editor like, oh, you're gonna hate me. I'm so sorry. This film is gonna be a disaster. But
Yeah.
then we actually sat down and watched it and it worked and I liked it. So I was just being dramatic, really.
Of course. And your cinematographer, like, because you have a lot of very point and key night scenes, right? With like
Mm.
that, the lighting had to be like not obviously not too dark, but it had to be dark enough. It had like there's some really interesting moments in the film. So whoever did that did a fantastic job too, because I've seen it my from my experience that these scenes, these really dark scenes can go wrong, right? Even color correction, you can only do so much.
Yeah, it was challenging. We did many tests and we landed on this look that we both liked that wasn't too dark, but also not too light,
Yeah.
because you do want that sort of creepy feeling to
Yeah,
it.
100%. It seems like you did a lot of preparation for the film, the way you describe your like getting the performance, like doing all of the kind of tests. It's like you really prepared for this film.
Yeah. And that's the thing I like about our school as well, because they really force you to prepare and to
Yeah.
think about these things, which is ultimately really beneficial for the project.
I'm assuming you had some anxiety making this film,
I
and
did.
it's like it doesn't it feel good when it like it all comes together?
It feels fantastic. Yeah, it's like a huge weight just falls off.
Yeah, 100%. Because there's so many moving parts with your film, right? Like there's like from the production design to, like you said, the costumes, the performance needs to be key. You got two twists. You got the twists with the blood and the paint, and then you got the twists in the end. And they all like tone wise, you're shifting genres. So it's like there's so much going on. And so basically it's sort of like throwing you like juggling like 10 balls in the air, and then you landed.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you think so. And
No, I'm just
yeah,
telling you what I see, right? So I'm not I know it's not easy. So the question is
Mhm.
that are you going to do it again? Are you going to make another film?
For a long time, I thought no, because like this was a very ambitious
Yeah,
project, and I
yeah,
did feel like it was too much, and it was just emotionally very difficult to
yeah,
handle. Uh, but now, I mean, I miss being on set and I miss working on creative things. And I did already write a new draft for a little short film, and I have some other ideas. So I hopefully I can, yeah, I would like to keep making films.
yeah. Well, you don't have to go, from my experience, you don't have to go shoot for the stars like you did with this film. Because this is kind of an epic
Yeah,
short film. You could just do something small, get your feet wet,
exactly.
right? So
Mhm. Yeah, I would like to really work on my craft and directing and working with actors.
yeah,
So some sort of smaller, more intimate
yeah.
project would be a nice next step, I think.
Yeah, you don't have to run a marathon every time. You can just do, jog a couple
Exactly.
miles and just but you're getting your workout, right? So it's like you got to keep you got to keep staying on set and keep kind of like figuring out your style, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So you're gonna stay in Estonia, and you're gonna and like in
Well, I'm actually moving to France in
oh, gotcha.
autumn, so it's gonna be a whole new life, and I will see. I don't speak French, so
Oh, you
that's
don't.
probably my first step, learning French, and then we'll see. I mean, I have to get to know the film industry there and see if there's any opportunities.
You're moving to Paris?
No, to south of France.
Oh, south of France, gotcha. Like in the Cannes area,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I mean, it's a great place to be if you want to work on films.
So yeah, I'm not aware of like I was assuming Paris was the place to go, but yeah, obviously you know better than I do. So Well, that's fantastic. So what language you obviously you speak English very well. So what other languages do you speak?
Well, Estonian is my mother tongue,
Yeah.
and I speak a little bit of Swedish as well.
Swedish. Gotcha.
Yeah, I lived in Sweden for a while.
Gotcha. So
Went to
French
school.
is like a different, it's a different
French is a whole different. Yeah.
yeah,
But I'm doing my Duolingo lessons. I'm trying, and I will take courses once I get there.
yeah. I got to
So
learn French because my kids are doing French. Like I'm in Canada, they're doing French immersion.
yeah.
And my wife
Right.
and all their family is from Montreal, so they speak French. So they're already starting
Oh,
to talk in French, and I don't know what they're talking about. So I have to start learning French because I'm gonna miss a lot of stuff. So we're in the same
yeah.
page, but I'm
It's a
scared.
difficult language but beautiful.
Sorry.
It's a difficult language, but very beautiful. So I think it's worth learning.
And they say that if you learn French, you can learn Spanish and Italian quickly because it's very similar.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's what they say. But I'm not a language person, so I gotta figure this out. But so and as you will. Well, congratulations on the film. It's fantastic. It's like really shows who you are. So I'm assuming you passed with flying colors with the school, and yeah, just your cinematographer. She's fantastic, and everything. Your sound design. It's a really. I think this is the first time we've shown a film from this school before. So I love to see what's happening. And yeah, thanks for submitting and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Let's
And
talk
thank you
again
for
when you make your
allowing
next
me.
film. Please, let's keep in touch and I want to see what you do next.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you.
And keep, yeah, and basically like the film's great. So it should get into almost every festival you submit to. So keep submitting and then I don't know where you, I'm sure you're waiting for things right are in the middle of your festival cycle. But what's going to happen, it's going to shift and people will start inviting you to submit like for free. So basically because you already established who you are, your film. So
Love that. Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
saves you some money. All right, let's talk soon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.